What kind of bird can keep eating and still end up starving? It might sound impossible, but there's one bird that fits the bill. Let me tell you about a pelican in this video. You'll see it by the water, catching a fish. But just as it bends down to grab its next meal, the fish it just swallowed slips out of its mouth and falls into the big pouch under its beak. Completely unaware, the pelican keeps on hunting as if nothing happened. At this rate, it could stand there eating all day. But no joke, this is the pelican, a bird with the biggest mouth in the world, and also one of the greediest and goofiest. It eats whatever it sees, and if it spots someone, it might even try to eat them. Especially in zoos, pelicans are among the most troublesome animals to deal with. What's this? You take a bite and it's a pigeon. Down it goes in one big gulp. What's this? Take a bite and it's not easy to eat. No worries, just bite a few more times and get a feel for it. When people first see a pelican, they often wonder what it would be like to feel that huge beak snap shut on them, or even get swallowed whole. And sometimes they get a taste of that bite test firsthand, experiencing that sudden, unforgettable jolt as if they've just had a major realization. Especially for kids, seeing that huge beak can be a bit creepy. Even though pelicans seem to snap at everything around them, the truth is, only fish usually make it through their throats. Their throats are just too narrow to let anything else pass. So, despite their constant biting and grabbing, it's really only fish that end up being swallowed. Their fishing method is pretty different from most water birds. While many water birds dive into the water, or, like ducks and swans, plunge in with precision to catch their prey, pelicans prefer a more laid-back approach. They float around on the water's surface and wait until they're near a school of fish. Then, they slam their giant beak down like a big net to scoop them up. Even the smallest pelican species, the brown pelican, which has learned to dive for fish, still relies on its huge beak to trap them rather than using the precision dive like other water birds. After pelicans scoop their prey into their huge beaks, they first squeeze out the water by contracting the muscles in their throat pouch. Then, the combination of pressure from the pouch and air pressure helps draw the prey into the pouch. This unique method involves 3 steps: scooping up the prey, draining the water, and then swallowing using air pressure. Interestingly, baleen whales have a similar feeding technique. It's amazing that a mammal like a baleen whale and a bird like a pelican have independently evolved such a comparable feeding strategy. However, this fascinating adaptation also comes with challenges for pelicans. Unlike baleen whales, pelicans don't have the strong bodies to support their feeding process. Their beaks, though evolved to be powerful, are still just thin layers of skin and tissue. They lack the baleen structures that filter out debris. So, when pelicans swallow their prey, they often ingest a lot of silt and other debris. Before humans introduced synthetic materials, pelicans could use their throat pouch to filter out unwanted material. But with the advent of plastics and other man-made items, pelicans now face new dangers. Much like the tragic cases of seagulls and turtles with plastic, fishing hooks, and other debris have become significant threats to these birds. This photo, taken by photographer Hal in 2017, shows a pelican with a hole in its beak pouch, which caused most of its prey to slip away. The tear was likely caused by a fishing hook, as these sharp hooks can easily puncture the delicate pouch. In the wild, pelicans have incredibly tough beaks, even when food is scarce, as with the pelican in the photo that managed to swallow a huge freshwater fish. Their beak pouches usually remain intact. In the wild, the only time pelicans are usually seen with damaged pouches is when they get into fights with turtles, which can tear their beak pouches. However, this type of damage is quite different from the hole in Hal's photo, making it highly likely that the tear was caused by a fishing hook instead. For instance, in this video of a pelican being rescued, you can see a fishing hook that almost pierced the pelican's beak pouch. These hooks often come from sport or trawl fishing, where fish escape from the line and end up carrying the hooks away. These weakened fish, after escaping human capture, quickly become targets for hungry pelicans. And so, the tragedy continues to unfold, with the sharp fishing hooks getting lodged in the pelican's throat. The bird is left with no choice but to endure the pain, and repeatedly try to expel the hooks, likely in agony each time. If, during this process, the pelican's pouch is severely torn, it's essentially a slow death sentence. With a damaged beak pouch, the pelican would be unable to catch and hold its food properly, slowly starving in the wild. There was once a case where wildlife conservationists rescued a pelican with a torn beak pouch. They stitched the wound, and however, they noticed the tear was unusually clean, leading them to suspect that someone, frustrated by the pelican's fishing skills, had deliberately cut its pouch. The conservationists also explained that pelicans can sometimes heal minor injuries on their own. In fact, they had already observed signs of healing around the edges of the tear. The pelican's pouch is rich in blood vessels, giving it some ability to regenerate. But when the damage is too severe, there's no way for it to fully recover. This shows the vulnerability of pelicans, an otherwise clever species that, through millions of years of evolution, developed a fishing technique similar to baleen whales. Unfortunately, what was once an evolutionary advantage is now becoming a weakness due to human interference with nature.